Now we are coming and begin to think about exponential equation. Okay, and now we are remembering the exponential laws, we are remembering the exponential properties, and say while we are within that discourse of exponents, we are also aware that we are using the rules of algebra because we are solving for an unknown for x, so we are also aware of those rules. So we open those properties from different discourses and integrate them to enable us to solve. Let us look at number one. Number one, we want to solve for 2 minus 16x minus 3 over 2 is equal to 0. First thing first, when you're doing mathematical solving, problem solving, look at the nature of the expression that is given, analyze it. So here, if you analyze this expression, this equation, you notice that the x is not in the exponents, it is just the normal x. So solve it in that manner. So now you can say here, I've got negative 16x minus 3 over 2 is equal to negative 2. I am treating this equation as any algebraic equation, and I'm going to divide by the coefficient of x, which is equal to negative 2 divided by negative 16. So this is going to give me 1 over 8. And on my left hand side, I've got x negative 3 over 2. And I remember that I can multiply both sides by negative 3 over 2, both sides by negative 2, 3 over 2, because I want to make x to be the subject of the formula. And I also know that 8 can be rewritten as 2 to the power minus 3, and then this is negative 3 over 2. Okay, so once I've got that, so if we were to correct, we are using the reciprocal, so we're multiplying, I beg your pardon, we are multiplying by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 3 over 2 would be minus 2 over 3. This will be minus 2 over 3. So then this will cancel out. This will cancel out. So this will be minus 2 over 3. So this will cancel out. This will cancel out. And I've got 2 to the power 2, which is equal to 4. So my x is equal to 4. So in this case, I did not need to worry about the exponential laws because my x was not sitting like, we did not have a situation like this. Okay, so now in this case, my x is just normal. It's sitting in a normal way as an algebraic equation. That's why I did not apply the exponential laws in this step. I just applied simple algebraic ways of thinking. Let us look at number 2. Okay, so at number 2, you are given 4 to the power x plus 8 is equal to 9 times 2x. I analyze, we call it global approach. I analyze my expression, the objects of this equation, who is there. So I've got 4 to the power 2 and 2 to the power x, and I say I can write 4 to be 2 to the power 2 because I want to have everything that has got the same base. I'm focusing where there is an x, and then this is 2 to the power x, and I said okay. Now I notice that there is a law that is saying if ever I've got a to the power m n, this can be rewritten as a m n. And then I say this is going to be 2 to the power 2x. I am applying this law, plus 8 is equal to 9 2 to the power x. And then I sit and say, this still looks complicated. And then I said, you know what, I can see there's 2 to the power x. How about I get out of exponential way of thinking and think algebraically. Okay, when I think algebraically, how about letting 2 to the power x to be equal to k, right? Then I know that k squared is going to be equal to 2 to the power 2x. I'm multiplying both, I'm raising the exponent of k by 2, and what I do on the left, I do on the right. And then I substitute this information back here. All right, so now I'm going to have k squared plus 8, which is equal to 8k. And then I say, wow, this looks like a nice, beautiful trinomial. Let me write it in a standard form, quadratic trinomial. Let me write it in a form. This is equal to 9. Let me write it in a form of a quadratic trinomial. Minus 9k plus 8. This is equal to 0. And then I said, wow, this can be factorized. I can come in and factorize this. So this is just going to be equal to k. This is going to be 8. This is 1 minus, and then my k is going to be equal to 8, or my k is going to be equal to 1. And then I said, I was not asked to solve for k. It was just a way of helping me to solve. So I'm going to take the k and say I've got 2 to the power x is equal to, I know that 8, okay, let me write it as 8, or 2 to the power x is equal to 1. I can write 8 to be the base of 2, and I've got 2 to the power x is equal to 2 to the power 3, or 2 to the power x is equal to 2 to the power 0. Now I can just drop the base and say x is equal to 3, or my x is equal to 0. I have solved for my x using the strategy of k. Beautiful ways of thinking. You always come up with strategies when you can see that things are not making sense. Try and substitute these variables that looks complicated. Substitute them with one variable, k, p, q, whatever, something that is going to get you into a familiar space of algebra.